The night sky over Earth lit up with an eerie, otherworldly glow as the massive fleet of alien ships appeared without warning. Cities across the globe fell into chaos as people looked up in awe and terror at the spectacle unfolding above. The alien vessels, sleek and ominous, hovered silently, their presence a stark reminder of humanity's vulnerability. In a hastily convened meeting at the United Nations, leaders and experts from around the world gathered to address the unprecedented event. Among them was Dr. Sarah Mitchell, a leading linguist and expert in extraterrestrial communication. She was there to provide insight into any messages the aliens might send. The suspense broke when a deep, resonant voice echoed through every electronic device on Earth. The message was clear and chilling. "We are the Galactic Empire. Surrender and offer tribute or face annihilation." Panic ensued as people grappled with the reality of the situation. Governments scrambled to respond, military forces mobilized, and scientists worked frantically to understand the nature of the alien threat. In the midst of this chaos, a small group of Earth's best and brightest began to form a plan of resistance. Captain Marcus Lee, a decorated military strategist, and Dr. Mitchell found themselves at the heart of this effort, determined to defy the Empire's demands. In a hidden underground bunker, deep beneath the Rocky Mountains, leaders from around the globe convened for a crucial council of war. The room was filled with the tense buzz of conversations and the hum of advanced technology as holographic maps displayed the alien fleet's positions. President Elena Garcia of the United States stood at the head of the table, flanked by representatives from various nations. "We need a plan," she stated firmly, her voice cutting through the tension. "We can't simply surrender. We must find a way to resist." Dr. Mitchell stepped forward, her eyes sharp with determination. "The message was clear, but we must understand more about who we're dealing with. I propose we attempt to communicate with them. Try to buy some time." Captain Lee, a grizzled veteran with a reputation for unorthodox strategies, nodded. "Agreed. While Dr. Mitchell negotiates, we need to prepare for a fight. Guerrilla tactics, hit-and-run operations, we can't match them in sheer firepower, but we can be a thorn in their side." The council debated late into the night, finally agreeing on a two-pronged approach. Dr. Mitchell would serve as humanity's emissary, while Captain Lee and his team prepared for covert resistance. The stakes were clear. Humanity's survival depended on the success of their plan. Dr. Sarah Mitchell stood on the launch pad, her heart pounding as she prepared to board the shuttle that would take her to the alien flagship. She wore a sleek, custom-fitted spacesuit equipped with advanced communication gear. Around her, a team of technicians and scientists made final adjustments, their faces grim with the weight of their mission. The shuttle launched smoothly, breaking through Earth's atmosphere and into the void of space. As it approached the massive alien flagship, its sheer size and technological sophistication became apparent. The shuttle was dwarfed by the colossal vessel, which bristled with advanced weaponry and mysterious alien architecture. Dr. Mitchell was greeted by an imposing figure as she stepped off the shuttle, a towering alien clad in ornate armor. "I am Dr. Sarah Mitchell, emissary of Earth," she said, her voice steady despite the fear gnawing at her insides. The alien, who introduced himself as Sub-Commander Zalrax, led her through the labyrinthine corridors of the ship to a grand chamber. There, seated on a throne of shimmering metal, was High Commander Valthor. His presence exuded authority and menace. "State your purpose," Valthor commanded, his eyes piercing through her. Dr. Mitchell took a deep breath and began her speech, carefully crafted to appeal to any sense of diplomacy the aliens might have. "We seek understanding and peaceful coexistence. Humanity has much to offer in terms of knowledge and culture. We ask for time to explore a mutually beneficial relationship." Valthor listened, his expression unreadable. "Your words are eloquent, human. But know this, we do not negotiate from a position of weakness. You have 48 hours to consider our demands. After that, we will accept nothing less than total submission." With that, Dr. Mitchell was escorted back to her shuttle. As she returned to Earth, she couldn't shake the feeling that the Empire's ultimatum was a thinly veiled threat. She knew that the real battle was only just beginning, and humanity's fate hung in the balance. Back on Earth, in a hidden military base located in the Nevada desert, Captain Marcus Lee gathered his team. The facility buzzed with activity as engineers, scientists, and soldiers worked around the clock to retrofit old space shuttles with advanced weaponry and defenses. The air was thick with the scent of metal and fuel, the hum of machinery providing a constant backdrop. Captain Lee stood before his assembled team, a diverse group of men and women from various nations, each chosen for their unique skills and unwavering resolve. "Listen up, everyone," he began, his voice firm and authoritative. "The Galactic Empire expects us to roll over and surrender. But that's not what humanity does. We fight. We adapt. We survive." He paused, letting his words sink in. "Our mission is simple. Hit the Empire where it hurts and make them regret ever coming to our doorstep. We'll use guerrilla tactics, surprise attacks, and anything else we can think of to keep them off balance. This won't be easy, and it won't be pretty, but it's our best shot at buying time and keeping hope alive." The team responded with a chorus of determined voices. Among them were Lieutenant Maria Santos, a brilliant engineer with a knack for improvisation, and Sergeant David Kim, a former Special Forces operative known for his resourcefulness in the field. Together, they and their comrades prepared for a fight unlike any humanity had ever faced. The Resistance's first mission was to strike a supply convoy near the moon. Captain Lee and his team boarded their retrofitted shuttles, now bristling with makeshift weaponry. As they approached the convoy, nerves were high, but the resolve was unshaken. Using the moon's craters and shadows for cover, the Resistance fighters launched a surprise attack. The alien ships were caught off guard, as human vessels, smaller and more agile, darted in and out of the lunar landscape, delivering precise strikes. "Target the engines," Captain Lee barked over the comms. "We need to disable them, not destroy them. We need those supplies." Explosions lit up the dark side of the moon as the battle raged. Despite facing superior technology, the humans' ingenuity and intimate knowledge of the terrain gave them an edge. Lieutenant Santos's quick thinking saved the day when she devised a way to jam the enemy's communications, further disorienting the Empire's forces. After a tense and grueling fight, the Resistance managed to capture several of the Empire's supply ships. The victory was hard-won, with significant casualties, but it provided much-needed resources and a critical morale boost. For the first time, humanity had struck back and won. Word of the Resistance's success at Luna spread quickly, igniting hope not only among humans, but also among other alien species oppressed by the Empire. Messages of support and offers of alliance began to pour in from across the galaxy. Captain Lee and his team found themselves at the center of a growing network of rebels. One of the first to reach out was the Elorians, a technologically advanced species with a long history of resistance against the Empire. Their leader, High Scholar Elin, proposed a meeting to discuss a potential alliance. Captain Lee and Dr. Mitchell traveled to a remote asteroid base to meet with Elin and other representatives from various alien factions. The meeting was tense, with old rivalries and deep-seated mistrust simmering just beneath the surface. However, the shared goal of freedom and survival brought the disparate groups together. High Scholar Elin spoke passionately about the need for unity. "The Empire thrives on our division. Only by standing together can we hope to challenge their tyranny." With the Elorians' advanced technology and strategic knowledge, and the fierce combat skills of the Warlong, another species eager to join the fight, the coalition began to form a plan for a coordinated assault. They targeted a key Empire outpost on the planet Zealer, a strategic location that could serve as a foothold for further operations. As preparations for the attack on Zealer intensified, the Resistance and their new allies worked tirelessly to integrate their technologies and strategies. The humans' resourcefulness and adaptability proved invaluable, as did the Elorians' technological prowess and the Warlong's combat expertise. The stage was set for a major confrontation, one that would test the limits of their fledgling alliance and determine the future of their struggle against the Galactic Empire. The successful alliance and preparation for the assault on Zealer brought a sense of cautious optimism to the Resistance. However, unbeknownst to them, the Empire had planted a spy within their ranks. Lieutenant James Carter, a decorated war hero, had been coerced into betraying his comrades due to threats against his family held captive by the Empire. Carter's betrayal went unnoticed at first. He was careful to provide just enough information to the Empire to keep them at bay while avoiding suspicion. But as the plans for the Zealer assault became more concrete, Carter's transmissions grew more frequent and detailed. One evening, while reviewing tactical data, Captain Lee noticed discrepancies in their security protocols. His suspicions were piqued, but he kept his concerns close, knowing that if there was indeed a traitor, revealing his hand too soon could be disastrous. He confided in only a few trusted members of the team, including Dr. Mitchell and Sergeant Kim. Dr. Mitchell, using her background in cryptography, began to discreetly monitor communications within the base. After days of careful surveillance, she intercepted a coded message from Carter to the Empire. The evidence was undeniable. The confrontation was swift. Carter was arrested and brought before a tribunal of resistance leaders. "I had no choice," he pleaded, revealing the Empire's hold over his family. The tribunal, while understanding his plight, could not overlook the lives lost due to his actions. Carter was placed in a secure cell, and efforts were made to rescue his family, but the damage had been done. The Empire now had critical knowledge of their plans. With the revelation of the spy, the resistance had to act quickly to salvage their mission. Captain Lee and High Scholar Elin decided to move up the timeline for the assault on Zealer. Speed and surprise were now their only advantages. The journey to Zealer was tense, with every member of the coalition acutely aware of the stakes. The planet, a rocky, desolate world with harsh conditions, housed a vital Empire outpost that controlled a significant portion of their supply lines. The attack commenced with a precision strike on the outpost's communication arrays, cutting off their ability to call for reinforcements. The Resistance's ships, supported by Elorian fighters and war-long ground troops, descended on the outpost with a fury that caught the Empire off guard. Captain Lee led the ground assault, navigating the harsh terrain with the aid of Elorian tech that provided advanced mapping and environmental control. The battle was brutal, with close-quarters combat in the narrow corridors of the outpost. The Resistance fighters, driven by the knowledge of what was at stake, fought with unmatched determination. High Scholar Elin coordinated the air support, ensuring that Empire ships were kept at bay while the ground forces pressed their advantage. The war-long warriors, known for their ferocity, proved invaluable in breaking the Empire's defensive lines. After hours of intense fighting, the Resistance emerged victorious. The outpost was secured, and with it, a trove of Empire supplies and data that would prove crucial for future operations. The victory at Zealer marked a turning point in the war, a symbol of what could be achieved through unity and determination. The success at Zealer resonated throughout the galaxy, inspiring other species and factions to join the growing rebellion against the Empire. Messages of support and offers of alliance flooded in from planets and systems previously too afraid to resist. Captain Lee, Dr. Mitchell, and High Scholar Elin worked tirelessly to forge these new alliances, traveling to distant worlds and holding diplomatic talks with leaders of various species. Each new ally brought unique strengths to the coalition, from advanced technology to formidable warriors. Among the new allies were the Keldor, a species renowned for their stealth capabilities and espionage skills, and the Vortan, whose massive fleet of ships could rival even the Empire's armada. The coalition, now a formidable force, began to plan their next major offensive, a strike on the heart of the Empire's power. Tensions were inevitable, as different species with varied cultures and histories came together. Disputes arose over strategy, resource allocation, and leadership roles. But the shared goal of freedom, and the memory of those who had fallen in the fight against the Empire, kept them united. Dr. Mitchell played a crucial role in mediating these disputes, using her diplomatic skills to find common ground and build trust among the coalition members. Captain Lee focused on integrating the diverse military forces into a cohesive fighting unit, emphasizing the importance of cooperation and mutual respect. As preparations for the next offensive intensified, the coalition's resolve only grew stronger. They knew that the road ahead would be long and fraught with danger, but the victory at Zealer had shown them that the Empire was not invincible. United, they could challenge the tyranny that had oppressed so many for so long. The stage was set for the next phase of their struggle, one that would bring them ever closer to the ultimate goal: the liberation of the galaxy from the grip of the Galactic Empire. Despite the recent successes and growing strength of the coalition, the seeds of doubt planted by Lieutenant Carter's betrayal continued to sow distrust. With the coalition planning their most ambitious attack yet, security measures were heightened and internal investigations intensified. Captain Lee, still haunted by the revelation of the spy, had his intelligence team rigorously vet every new member of the coalition. Dr. Mitchell utilized advanced Elorian technology to conduct deep background checks and monitor communications for any signs of treachery. The task was monumental, given the diverse and vast nature of their new allies. As the investigation continued, subtle inconsistencies and encrypted messages began to surface. It became clear that Carter had not acted alone. The Empire's network of spies was more extensive than initially thought, and the coalition's plans were once again at risk. During a clandestine meeting, Captain Lee confronted the coalition leaders with the evidence. "We have another traitor in our midst," he announced grimly. "Our mission and the lives of everyone involved depend on finding them." The coalition's leadership team, including High Scholar Elin and the Vorton Fleet Commander Tharok, worked tirelessly to uncover the mole. Tensions ran high, with accusations and suspicions causing rifts among the allied factions. It was a delicate balance to maintain unity while rooting out the betrayal. The breakthrough came when Dr. Mitchell's team decrypted a series of messages that pointed to a high-ranking officer within the Vorton fleet. Commander Tharok, devastated by the revelation, personally led the arrest of the officer. The traitor's confession revealed crucial details of the Empire's plans and their next target, the Coalition's main base on a remote asteroid. With the betrayal uncovered, the Coalition was able to thwart the Empire's imminent attack. The incident, though damaging, ultimately strengthened their resolve and underscored the importance of vigilance and trust among allies. With their security breach resolved, the Coalition was ready to strike at the heart of the Empire. Tanner Prime, a vital Empire stronghold known for its strategic importance and formidable defenses, was chosen as the next target. The operation was codenamed Phoenix Strike. The battle plan was meticulous and multifaceted. The Vorton fleet, with its massive ships, would provide the main assault force. The Keldor, with their expertise in stealth and sabotage, would infiltrate the stronghold and disable key defenses. Meanwhile, Captain Lee's team would lead a direct ground assault to seize control of the command center. The Coalition's fleet emerged from hyperspace at the edge of the Tanner system, the vast armada glittering against the darkness of space. The Empire's forces, though numerous and well-prepared, were taken aback by the sheer scale and coordination of the attack. "All units, engage." Captain Lee's voice rang through the comms as the Coalition ships surged forward. The initial clash was explosive, with laser fire and missile barrages lighting up the void. The Vortan ships, heavily armed and resilient, bore the brunt of the initial defense, while the Keldor operatives slipped past the chaos to execute their sabotage mission. On the ground, Captain Lee and his team fought their way through heavily fortified positions. The terrain of Tanner Prime was harsh, with treacherous ravines and towering spires of rock. The resistance fighters, supported by Elorian technology, used the environment to their advantage, launching surprise attacks and outmaneuvering the Empire's troops. High Scholar Elin coordinated the air support, ensuring that the Empire's reinforcements were intercepted and neutralized. The Coalition's combined firepower and strategic brilliance began to turn the tide of the battle. The pivotal moment came when Captain Lee's team breached the command center's defenses. Inside, they encountered fierce resistance, including the Empire's elite guards. The fighting was intense and brutal, with both sides sustaining heavy casualties. Lee, driven by the memories of fallen comrades and the hope for a free galaxy, pushed forward with relentless determination. The final confrontation in the command center was a desperate and chaotic melee. Captain Lee and his team fought their way to the central control room, where High Commander Valthor awaited. The imposing alien leader exuded confidence despite the chaos unfolding around him. "Your resistance is futile," Valthor declared, his voice cold and authoritative. "The Empire will crush you, just as it has crushed all who stood against it." "Not today," Lee replied, charging forward with a fierce determination. The ensuing battle was intense, with Valthor proving to be a formidable opponent. The room shook with the clash of weapons and the cries of combatants. Outside, the coalition forces continued to press their advantage. The Keldor operatives successfully disabled the outpost's main defenses, allowing the Vortan fleet to bombard strategic targets with precision. The Empire's forces, now leaderless and disorganized, began to falter. In the command center, the duel reached its climax. Captain Lee, despite sustaining injuries, fought with every ounce of his strength. In a final desperate move, he managed to disarm Valthor and deliver a fatal blow. The High Commander fell, and with his death, the command structure of the Empire's forces on Tanner Prime collapsed. The news of Valthor's defeat spread quickly through the ranks, causing chaos and confusion among the Empire's troops. The coalition seized the moment, securing the command center and gaining control of the outpost. However, the victory came at a great cost. Many brave fighters had fallen, including some of Captain Lee's closest comrades. The price of freedom was steep, but the coalition's resolve was unshaken. They had struck a significant blow against the Empire, proving that unity and courage could overcome even the most formidable adversary. As the smoke cleared and the last of the resistance was subdued, Captain Lee stood amid the wreckage of the command center, his body weary, but his spirit unbroken. He knew that the Battle of Tanner Prime was just one step in a long and arduous journey, but it was a step that would be remembered as a turning point in the fight for freedom. The coalition forces, now more united than ever, began to regroup and prepare for the next phase of their campaign. The victory at Tanner Prime had shown them that the Empire could be challenged and defeated. The dream of a galaxy free from tyranny was no longer just a hope, it was becoming a reality. With the fall of Tanner Prime, the coalition gained momentum and morale surged across the galaxy. The defeat of High Commander Valthor sent shockwaves through the ranks of the Empire. Word of the coalition's success inspired countless oppressed species to rise up against their oppressors. The tide of the war was beginning to turn. Back on Earth, in the coalition's command center, Captain Lee, Dr. Mitchell, High Scholar Elin, and Commander Tharok gathered to strategize their next move. The room was filled with a renewed sense of purpose. Holographic maps displayed the expanding regions of rebellion, marking the Empire's weakening grip on the galaxy. "We must capitalize on this moment," Dr. Mitchell said, her voice filled with determination. "Our victory at Tanner Prime has shown that the Empire is not invincible. We need to strike at their core and dismantle their central command." High Scholar Elin nodded in agreement. The Empire's heart lies on the planet Xanthar, where the Emperor himself resides. It's heavily fortified, but if we can take Xanthar, we can bring the entire Empire to its knees. The plan was ambitious, but the coalition's resolve was unshakable. Preparations began for the final assault on Xanthar. The combined forces of humanity, the Alorians, the Warlong, the Keldor, and the Vortan, readied themselves for the ultimate battle. As the coalition's armada assembled, Captain Lee took a moment to address the troops. Standing on the bridge of the lead ship, his voice echoed through the fleet's communication channels. "Today we stand on the brink of a new dawn. We fought long and hard, and many of our comrades have given their lives for this cause. Remember their sacrifice and let it fuel your resolve. Together, we will bring an end to the Empire's tyranny and usher in an era of freedom and peace for all." The fleet surged into hyperspace, emerging near Xanthar, a planet bristling with defenses. The Empire's forces, though formidable, were demoralized and disorganized after the loss of Valthor. The coalition's strategy relied on a multi-pronged assault. The Vortan fleet would engage the Empire's navy, the Keldor operatives would infiltrate and sabotage critical infrastructure, and the ground forces, led by Captain Lee, would storm the Emperor's palace. The space battle was fierce, with ships clashing in a dazzling display of firepower. The Vortan fleet, bolstered by the coalition's advanced technology and strategic planning, gradually gained the upper hand. Meanwhile, the Keldor operatives executed their sabotage missions with precision, causing chaos and disruption within the Empire's defenses. On the ground, Captain Lee and his team fought their way through the heavily fortified palace. The resistance was fierce, but the coalition's diverse forces fighting side by side proved unstoppable. The sight of humans, Elorians, Warlong, and others united in battle was a powerful symbol of their collective strength. The final confrontation took place in the Emperor's throne room, a vast chamber filled with opulence and intimidation. The Emperor, a towering figure clad in ornate armor, exuded an aura of absolute power. "You dare challenge the might of the Empire?" he thundered, his voice echoing through the hall. Captain Lee stepped forward, his eyes blazing with determination. "We challenge your tyranny. Your reign of oppression ends today." The battle was intense, with the Emperor wielding advanced weaponry and fighting with ruthless skill. But the coalition's unity and determination proved stronger. In a climactic struggle, Captain Lee managed to deliver the decisive blow, bringing the Emperor to his knees. With the Emperor's fall, the palace defenses crumbled and the remaining Empire forces surrendered. The news of the Emperor's defeat spread rapidly across the galaxy, signaling the end of the Galactic Empire's reign. The aftermath of the battle was a mix of relief, grief, and hope. The coalition leaders gathered once more, this time to discuss the future. Dr. Mitchell, standing among her allies, addressed the assembly. "Today we have achieved what many thought impossible, but our work is not yet done. We must rebuild, and we must ensure that the freedoms we have fought for are protected and shared by all." High Scholar Elin added, "Let this be a new dawn for all species, where cooperation and mutual respect guide our path forward." The coalition set to work on establishing a new galactic order, one founded on principles of justice, equality, and peace. The various species, once divided by fear and oppression, now worked together to rebuild and forge a brighter future. Captain Lee, weary but hopeful, looked out at the stars, now filled with the promise of a new beginning. The sacrifices of the many had paved the way for this new era. As the coalition leaders continued their discussions, Lee allowed himself a moment of quiet reflection, knowing that the journey had been long and hard, but the outcome was worth every struggle. Humanity and its allies had not only survived, but had thrived, creating a legacy of resilience and unity that would inspire generations to come. The galaxy, once under the shadow of the Empire, now basked in the light of freedom and hope.